let's talk about the new Skellige cards. And I could not be more excited once I saw the theme of these. Because we have here the Anglerfish, start off nice and easy. So, 5 versions, 3 power. He's a beast, so Skellige beast. Glad to see that. At the end of the turn, if there's rain or storm on both enemy rows, summon self from your deck to your ranged row. Guys, we got rain support. Rain is my favorite Skellige deck. I don't think that's been very well... I don't think it's been concealed or anything. But I'm so excited to see this. So it's a deck thinning for your deck, which is really nice. One of the things that happens with the rain deck in Skellige is you kind of feel really, really bad if you don't get your Melusine by round 2. And even worse if you don't never draw your Fuchsia. So having some consistency to it, especially something that gives you more beast tags, especially if you can actually run the Corrupted Flaminica, which I would love to finally see her be viable. I really like this. It seems really good. It is worth mentioning the second part of its effect, though. At the end of your turn, if neither enemy row has rain or storm, move self to the bottom of your deck. So a bit of a downside, but there should really be no problem at all keeping rain up at least one row, because the second effect is if neither enemy row has rain or storm. So as long as one does, you're still good, and you should be able to keep rain on one row pretty easily. And if you don't, I mean, you can get it back out again later. Obviously, you don't want to do that. I don't think there'll be any stuff like Old Crow Messenger where you Megascope this, because it doesn't come back from the graveyard, so I don't think there'll be anything like that. But this is still really helpful to the deck, and especially if you want to play beast synergies, right? This gets you 2 beasts on the board at once. That's 2 points for Corrupted Flaminica. Gives you something to target with the, oh, I forgot his name, the guy who was 3 Vitality or Bonded +3 to a beast, if you want to end up playing him. So I really like this. Just more rain support's always good for me. Now we move on to the Sea Serpent. This card, this is something else. So it's got 1 power, 5 provisions. Based on that, you know the effect's good. So it's a beast also. Really cool artwork too. I like this one. I can't wait to premium these. Deploy boost self by 0 and damage enemy unit by 3. So by itself, it does 3 damage. That's not bad on a unit. And the boost goes up by 1 for each opponent turn in which rain or storm triggered this round. So you got a big payoff for your rain. It's not per row, because that'd be insane, but say this is, I guess turn 5, like the first turn you didn't do anything, the second turn you put rain on them with like an order from Melusine Cultist or the bonded one that damages itself by 4, I can't remember its name right now. So you do that, and then you have rain out, like this is turn 4 or 5 in the round, you drop this, does 3 damage, boosts itself by 4. That's not bad. The fact that it's damage, so that's an 8-point play, and the 3 of its damage, which is really nice, because one of the things Rain struggles with is dealing damage and controlling cards, because the only thing you can really run is like maybe you run a Heat Wave or you run a Giga Scorpion Decoction. But you come to this problem a lot of the times with Rain, where you're going to hit something with Rain, and there's boosted by 1 and it doesn't die or something like that. So having damage is just really good. And in the best possible scenario where you get this at the end of like a 10-card round, say you went, your opponent went first or whatever, you rained them, this goes up to 9-point boost and it plays for 13, you're feeling amazing then. So very high upside, pretty good card, and the fact that it does damage by itself is interesting because it really helps. There's just no damage really in the rain deck, so this helps so much. Next we move on to the Kelpie, and we're going to see a bit of a synergy here. So we've got 4 power, 9 provisions, a bit like Chiron X. It looks a little bit like Chiron X, I mean, other than obviously the seaweed, but it's also a beast. So deploy spawn rain on an enemy row for 0 turns. So it increases by 1 for every 3 beasts in your starting deck. Whenever enemy unit takes damage from rain or storm, boost a random unboosted allied beast by 1. There's a couple things here. First of all is the deploy effect of the rain. You're definitely going to be running both Anglerfish and probably both Sea Serpent. So that's 4 beasts. It's not unique beasts, it's beasts. So that's 4. You have this, which is 5. You have Melusine, which is 6. You've got the Messenger from the Sea, which is also a beast, so that's 7, 8. And then you've got the Bonded one, that's 9, 10. And then you could probably fit 2 more beasts in. We got 1 more, which we'll get to, is the last card. If you fit 1 more beast in, that's 12 beasts pretty consistently, I would say. And with 12 beasts, that's 4 turns of rain. You play a 4 for 4, or a 4 for 9, puts out 4 turns of rain. That rain's worth 10 points, or 8 points. That's actually pretty good. It's probably worth 8 plus 4 is 12. You got the passive. So I would say 12 beasts is a good number. Even 9 beasts probably works. But then the secondary effect here is really nice. So when the enemy takes damage from Rain or Storm, you boost a random unboosted beast by 1. The fact that it has to be unboosted kind of limits it a little bit. However, worth knowing that Melusine and what is the bonded one's name? I'll remember after I finish the video. They damage themselves, right? If they're damaged, they're not boosted, so you damage them by 4. Potentially, let's just say you play one of them, and use the order, you damage it by 4, puts Rain on a row, you play this, it puts Rain on the other row, and you damage like 4 units, for example, because there's Rain on both rows, and that'll heal your guy back up to 4 from the 4 damage. So it has a lot of potential, and against stuff with ping damage, it's pretty useful. And even if you're not playing that many beasts, you could just play something that spawns crows. Like you're gonna play Axel One Eye probably in like every deck, because every deck seems to want to play him. That's 3 crows. They get boosted. They're beasts. So it's just there's a lot of utility here. And this kind of card really helps Rain, because right now the way you get a lot of turns of Rain out is if Melusine doesn't die, you can get a bunch of Rain from her. Otherwise, the only cards you don't want to be playing like Torrential Rain. Or Tears of the Sirens is okay, but it's not amazing. It's worth noting that it does spawn a Siren. The Sirens are beasts, so they can get boosted as well from this. I just think this card's really cool, and it helps Rain so much. But then again, we haven't even seen the last card yet, which I did. Usually I try and go into these blind, but I had to look for the cards, so you know. It's a 13 provision unit, 6 power, the Kraken. Disloyal, beast again. So I think this is the only disloyal Skellige card in the game, so that's interesting by itself. So Disloyal, deploy, move 3 enemy units to this row, damage them by 2, and spawn Storm for 3 turns. This is one of the coolest and most thematic abilities in the game, and I love it. So you've got Disloyal, so you play it to their field, you grab 3 of their guys, and then yoink them to his row, and then you put Storm on it. So just on deploy, again, we're seeing that 3 number, right? The Sea Serpent did 3 damage. This does 3 damage as well from the Storm. So you play this. Your opponent gets 6 points. That's made up for by the moving the 3 guys and the 2 damage. So theoretically, it's a 0-point play right there. And then whatever the Storm damage does is what you get for your 1-turn tempo. So it's not the most insane tempo card because of the Disloyal effect. But spawning Storm is super useful. When I play Rain, with Messengers from the Sea, I actually play Skellige Storm, just because the Storm effect is really good for Messenger. Like, if you have Messenger out, you play Skellige Storm, it's so good. It also helps the Melusine Cultist, gives you extra boost. But the only ways to get Skellige Storm out is to play Skellige Storm to use the effect of Fulmar, which they're going to kill or lock, or you use, like, a Shoop and get Storm randomly. And those are, like, the ways you get Storm. It's really nice we don't have to do that. This just gives you the 3 turns of Storm. It's nice that it's 3 turns. And we have Death Wish, summon self to the opposite row, and boost self with number of unique beasts. Unique allied beasts, it's probably like 3 or 4. So count himself, right? Yeah, so Death Wish, he summons himself and then boosts. I would guess he'd count himself. Could be wrong. But when you do get the Death Wish, he goes to your field, and you get the 6 points back. So there's a lot of points here. He's more of a long round card, right? Because you do want to have the Storm fully tick. You want a Storm hitting a bunch of units, obviously. But in a long round, this is amazing. As you give it to the opponent, the 6 points you eventually get back, because you're going to kill it, most likely, by hitting with Sea Serpent, by the Storm ticking for a super long time. Theoretically, you could get a Rio gun off. You guys play like a damage card to kill this. They probably boost it to try and stop you. But even if you get it back, though, it's amazing, right? Because you did 6 damage with it. 3 turns of Storm, hitting 5 units with Storm. It's like a 21-point unit right there. And I don't want to talk too much about these interactions between the different faction cards right now. Like, I'll do that in a whole video once all the cards are revealed. But Storm is ridiculous. Storm and Rain are ridiculous against Rakkus Swarm. So the fact that they're getting new cards means that this has a good matchup. But anyway, so this is just seems very, very strong. I love the theme of the card. it's just really cool to see. Now, as far as the whole Beast Rain thing, you do get the Sirens, and you do get the other beasts. Like I said, you get like 12 beasts. Not too bad to get 12 beasts. It is also worth noting that Svalblood is a beast, and it might not be a terrible idea. It's probably not the best idea, but it might not be a terrible idea to put Svalblood in these decks, because the rain and the storm will be triggering damage to spawn you the fanatics. I mean, it's probably not ideal, but it could be something fun to try out. That could be very interesting. And then he could, like I was saying, the rain and storm doesn't always have the best time killing stuff. Like, you can get it pretty low, but if it's like 5 power, it's going to take a long time for the rain or storm to kill it. If you're triggering a Small Blood too, that is quite a bit of damage added to that. Although it is a second wide punish, I'm not sure if you really want to do that, but it's very interesting. And one more card I want to mention before we stop talking about the rain here is there's a lot of synergy, obviously, with the rain here. The one thing I really like, though, is the Kelpie synergy with one of my favorite cards, which is Offering to the Sea. Offering to the Sea is really cool, as you just, I just like the interaction. Offering plus Dagger made some of my best highlights back in the day. But yeah, if you Offering to the Sea, because no one plays it right now, which is kind of sad, because the card's really flavorful, and I do like it, is you play Offering to the Sea, you hit all your guys by 1 damage, and then Kelpie slowly heals them back up. It's really nice, actually. I think we'll be trying to do that. So that is an interesting one as well. But overall, I am so happy Rain finally got support. I think when they first released Rain with the Melusine, like, Rain was really fun. It was a cool engine deck, but everyone kept trying to go for Fulmar, Ryogan, like OTK combo, like Wombo combos, and then like Rain just fell off the map. No one really plays Rain, except you play Melusine and Self Wound, but I've always wanted Rain to like have its own deck. I've tried to do it a few times, but this looks like we're finally going to have a chance to do it, and we're definitely going to be playing a lot of Rain once the next expansion comes out, which I am incredibly excited for. This card, I cannot wait for the premiums on these. Anyway, guys, what do you think? Let me know. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll see what the cards that come out next are. That'll be it for this one, guys. Hope you enjoyed. We'll see you next time. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more. And you can check out some more videos over here. And thanks for watching.